today I'm going to do a video that's going to prepare you for the Gilded Age test. Let's get going. So your Gilded Age test coming up, I don't know, the next couple days, few days, 5 days, 10 days, whatever it is Unit 4's test. And it's not as long as the other ones. I made it that way because I think it's if I made this one super long, it would just be overkill. I really just want to make sure you understand the major players of the Gilded Age. So the presidents and the men of industry. There are some throwbacks to some other questions. We'll get to that in a minute. So here's the breakdown for the Gilded Age. It's broken up into five sections. Section 1 and Section 2 are the men of industry. And what I did was we made matching sections. So Section 1 matching section, questions 1 through 9, is going to be about 4 different men of industry, okay? And then the second matching section is the other 4. So instead of having to have a giant list of all 8, we broke it into 4 and 4 to make your life easy. But you can use these guys multiple times. So here for Section 1, matching 1 through 9, here's your 4 people. John Rockefeller, Nikola Tesla, Thomas Edison, Andrew Carnegie. Let's do these one at a time. John Rockefeller, here's what you need to know about him. Oil. His company, Standard Oil. He built oil pipelines. And you can know some other things too. Remember, he was the one that gave Andrew Carnegie the paper vest. He was the one that also sold candy when he was a kid to make sure his family could eat. Andrew Carnegie, steel. No skyscrapers were built with this steel. Know that he built a bridge over the Mississippi River, and he used an elephant to, show that the river was awesome. The next 2 people in the same section, questions 1 through 9, is Nikola Tesla and Thomas Edison. Both these guys deal with electricity. Know that Nikola Tesla dealt with AC power, alternating current, and Thomas Edison dealt with DC power, direct current. Know about Edison's other stuff. He invented the electric chair, the light bulb. Know about Topsy the elephant, how he murdered Topsy the elephant using electricity. Nikola Tesla, maybe know that he invented the Tesla coil, that his foundational principles will lead to things like Bluetooth. He didn't invent Bluetooth, but without his ideas, who knows if we would ever gotten there. Know about his, affection for pigeons. I don't know. Let's get to matching part 2, which is questions 10 through 20. These are the other 4 men of industry: Cornelius Vanderbilt, Henry Frick, Henry Ford, and J.P. Morgan. So for Cornelius Vanderbilt, anything to do with railroads, sold ship to buy railroads, stopped a railroad train going into New York, built Grand Central Station, a place with all the railroads go to, okay? Cornelius Vanderbilt, that's all him. Henry Frick, you're a mean one, Mr. Frick. Henry Frick is, terrible things. Johnstown flood. Sent the Pinkertons in to shoot his strikers. He also was shot and stabbed, but still won the fight. Henry Ford, he's the car guy, right? So you know that he built the Model T car. Know that he used an assembly line to build his cars. Know that he paid his workers a decent wage, a livable wage. J.P. Morgan, he's money. J.P. Morgan is the guy that bailed out the country because he had so much money. Know that he let Thomas Edison use his house as a demonstration of electricity. Know that he owned the company General Electric, which because he had enough money, he could pretty much own anything he wanted. So there's that. That's that group. Now the third section are the presidents. Okay, and what's going to happen here is you're only going to use these once each. Sections 1 and 2, you're going to be able to use those people more than once each. So for Cornelius Vanderbilt, in the box, it's going to say ×3, which means that you're going to use him 3 times. For J.P. Morgan, you're only going to use him twice. Now, in the president section, section 3, you will use each president once only. Okay? So here's how it's going to work. You have Hayes, Garfield, Chester A. Arthur, Cleveland, Harrison, McKinley. Here's what you should know about every single one of these guys. Hayes, he ended Reconstruction. Easy money. Garfield, he was shot and he will die from his infection later. He'll die from the rot later. Shot twice, about 200 days later, he's dead. Chester A. Arthur. Chester A. built the Navy. That's really the only major thing I can talk about with him. Cleveland served 2 non-consecutive terms. He stopped farmers from getting their pay. Okay, vetoed farmers from getting their pay. He was gone for 3 weeks and nobody noticed. Harrison, not a lot to say about them. He was like a 9-to-5 president. He hunted and fished more than he worked. And remember the big hat that covered him up. And then finally, McKinley, he was also shot and killed. But the difference between him and Garfield is McKinley was shot and killed, but he also was the one that started a war, specifically the Spanish-American War. So that's section 3, the presidents. Section 4, multiple choice, and it's all the old stuff. So it's what ended slavery at a federal level, 13th Amendment. What ended slavery in the Confederacy, the Emancipation Proclamation. So it's all this other stuff. Who demonstrated total war? It was obviously Sherman's March. Who signed the surrender? Lee. Why did Andrew Johnson become president? Lincoln's assassination. It's all the stuff you've known before, okay? What was the system that trapped people to plantations? Sharecropping. Then, after that section, it's like short answers. So the first short answer question is really just chronological order. You have to put in order all the things I taught you, which should be easy. I taught you pre-Civil War, which is slavery, which is then Bleeding Kansas, Kansas-Nebraska Act, that stuff. Then I taught you Civil War, which was the Civil War, death, destruction, all that. Then I taught you Reconstruction, which was us putting Humpty Dumpty back together again. And then I taught you now the Gilded Age. You're just going to have to put those in order, okay? And finally, you are going to come up with 4 arguments why either the presidents had more power during the Gilded Age, or 4 arguments why the men of industry had more power in the Gilded Age. And that's your test. It should be easy. Just went through the whole thing with you. Knock it out. Peace, everybody. Out.